Yo, 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 my nig dogs. Big J in the house, rolling a fat blunt, ready to slam some As a young man, I had enjoyed a blissful and ignorant childhood of not knowing about black people. That was, until I had chanced upon a copy of True Crime New York City at my local KB Toys. That event forever changed me, traumatized me, and turned me into the Walmart shoplifting, gangster beat mumbling, goon cave dwelling monstrosity that I am today. True Crime is a special game, very near and dear to my heart. It was created as Activision's response to the open world sandbox genre that was all the rage in the mid-2000s. However, True Crime stands firmly above the others as the best of the bunch. I played this game a ton as a kid because I wasn't allowed to play Grand Theft Auto and I didn't have a PlayStation.
That shit ain't ballin'.
True Crime New York City takes place in New York City. You play as an up-and-coming thug shaker named Marcus Reed, who after surviving a botched assassination attempt, goes on a vengeful murder spree at his homie's crib. This serves as your tutorial mission, but more importantly will teach you that this game is damn near impossible to emulate even to this day, at least on GameCube. If you do anything on Dolphin, the game will violently crash. This has made gathering footage for this game a massive pain in the ass, because I have to run it off the native hardware on the GameCube version, as well as have a capture device that is compatible with composite inputs. I just want you to know how much this hurts me so you, the viewer, understand how much I love you for enduring this pain. Great, now let's get back to the game. After ventilating all his former niggas, Marcus ends up being apprehended by a detective, and for very contrived reasons, Marcus's father is a really big important gang leader who has turned informant, and he's pulled some strings to have Marcus handled with kid gloves. You see, Pops has a dream that Marcus will go straight and completely abandon crime. Sadly, Marcus was cursed with enough melatonin to be the baddest baller on the block. After completing a second tutorial, you are now let out into the proper world of New York City, where you can... Oh, hang on a second. Did I say we were free? No. We have to go do a quest chain first. True Crime New York City is a very repetitive and formulaic game. This makes it resonate perfectly with the coveted autistic wigger demographic, but don't be fooled. There's still plenty of fun to be had in the streets that never sleep. You can steal cars just like that other game, and even jam out to rockin' tracks from bands like My Chemical Romance and Wu-Tang. But don't you dare stream driving on YouTube or you will get 200 copyright notices on a single video. But what lies under the belly of this vibrant and diverse community is a filthy, evil, dirty, slutty cesspit of crime. There are 4 major criminal gangs operating the city from behind the scenes, and it's up to Marcus to stop them all. Apart from the first gang, the Mexican cartel, you can take on any of the other 3 in whatever order you want. And best of all, whenever you select a gang to investigate, you get a little narration voiced by Christopher Walken, famed American actor best known for his performance in Country Bears. In order to complete the story in True Crime New York City, you must defeat the blacks, the Chinese, and worst of all, the Italians to unlock the final chapter. The Black People Gang is my favorite because the final boss for that section is just really cool. Their leader is a massive weeb who challenges Marcus to a katana duel on top of his rooftop Zen garden. As a 12-year-old, I thought this was cool as heck. As a 42-year-old, I still think it's awesome. So after you've ethnically cleansed the Big Apple, it's finally time to uncover a mole in the forest and save the city. The final boss and ending you get is entirely dependent on this game's karma system. If you were a good cop and tipped the delivery guy, you get the easy boss. If you're a bad cop and did not listen and believe, you get the most impossible and frustrating boss, which I still can't defeat to this day. In order to not get soft locked by this unfair bugged mechanic, just make sure to grind a ton of good cop points before completing your final investigation. This isn't difficult, but just time consuming. As you explore the city, you will receive dispatches to solve various crimes, and taking these on will allow you to rack up good cop points in addition to other useful power-ups. These random activities range from chasing down a drug dealer speeding through the streets or finding a stray Reddit user. They make the city come alive and add a pleasant element of variety to the gameplay. The NPCs in this game are very fun to interact with. You can grab a civilian and pat them down for drugs, and if the area is crime saturated enough, you have a good 1 out of 3 chance of bagging a perp and racking up more good fanboy points. You also have the option to customize your character. From Marcus's appearance to his fighting style and weapon loadout, it's important to periodically hand in evidence in order to increase your detective rank. This will allow you to unlock superior vehicles and weaponry to make your adventure much more tolerable. The later stages of this game can be unpleasant if you don't unlock the top tier weapons and set them to your default slots, as the guns that enemies drop are complete garbage and only to be used in emergency situations. To reiterate, although the gameplay cycle of True Crime New York City is rather simplistic and formulaic, it is entertaining and engaging enough to keep you glued to your controller. It hasn't aged the best, especially on the graphical side, but it still has a lot of charm and soul that manages to carry it through. Best of all, this game does not overstay its welcome, and in a playthrough where you go directly for the story and main objectives, it can take you around 3 hours to finish. This makes True Crime an excellent game to replay every few years in order to laugh at the funny cutscenes and the dated pop culture references, but you will stay for the jank gameplay and an unforgettable adventure in which you learn what it means to be a true gangster.